When did you realize how lucky your childhood was? I was at Target on a Tuesday afternoon grabbing some last-minute Christmas gifts when I heard this blood-curdling scream coming from the toy section. I figured some kid probably just got told no about something, but as I walked closer, the screaming got louder and more violent. I turned the corner into the Lego aisle and saw this little boy, maybe 6 or 7 years old, having an absolute nuclear meltdown because his mom wouldn't buy him this massive $200 Millennium Falcon set. And I'm talking a full-blown tantrum. He was on the floor kicking his legs, tears and snot streaming down his face. "I hate you," he screamed at the top of his lungs. "You're the worst mom in the entire world. I never want to see you again." His mom just stood there looking completely defeated. She was probably in her mid-30s, wearing scrubs like she'd just gotten off a hospital shift. The bags under her eyes told me she was exhausted. Other shoppers were staring and shaking their heads. Some lady even made this disgusted noise and muttered something about kids these days as she walked past. The mom kept whispering, "I'm so sorry," to everyone around her, like she was personally responsible for ruining their shopping experience. But here's what really made my stomach turn. The kid suddenly jumped up, grabbed that heavy Lego box, and hurled it directly at his mother's face. It connected right with her nose, and I heard this awful thud. She stumbled backward, her hand flying to her face. For a split second, I thought she was going to lose it and screamed back at him. Instead, she just bent down slowly, picked up the box with shaking hands, and whispered, "We can't afford it this month, sweetheart. Maybe Santa will bring it for your birthday." Her voice was so gentle, so patient, even after he'd literally assaulted her. That's when something inside my brain just snapped, and I was suddenly 7 years old again. I was standing in this exact same Target with my mom 2 weeks before Christmas. I'd been obsessing over this remote control car I'd seen in a commercial for months, the kind that could do flips and drive up walls. We walked over to the electronics section, and there it was sitting on the shelf like a golden treasure. But when my mom picked up the box and saw the price tag, I watched her entire face just crumble. $150. I could see her doing math in her head, probably calculating rent and groceries and utilities. "Oh, honey," she said quietly, setting it back down. "Mommy doesn't have enough money for this one right now, but look at this cool little racetrack set over here." I remember feeling that sharp sting of disappointment in my chest. All my friends at school were going to get the expensive toys, and I was going to get the cheap knockoff version. But something about the way my mom said it, the sadness in her voice, made me swallow my tears and nod. "That's okay, Mom. The racetrack looks fun, too." She smiled and ruffled my hair. "You're such a good boy. Santa's going to be so proud of you." Years later, when I was in high school, I found out the truth. My mom had been working 3 jobs that winter: the diner during the day, cleaning offices at night, and weekend shifts at a grocery store. She never once complained, never made me feel like we were struggling. She had this magical way of making every cheap toy feel like the most amazing gift in the world. Standing there in Target, watching this spoiled brat terrorize his mother over a luxury toy, I felt my throat get tight. I pulled out my phone and called her right there in the aisle. "Hi, baby. What's up? Mom, do you remember that Christmas when I was 7 and wanted the remote control car?" "Of course I do. You were so sweet about it when I couldn't afford it. You ended up buying it for me anyway, didn't you?" There was this long pause on the other end. "I picked up some extra shifts in January. You deserve to have something special." I completely lost it right there in the middle of Target, full-on tears streaming down my face. This incredible woman had sacrificed her sleep, her health, her sanity just to make sure I never felt the pain of disappointment on Christmas morning. The spoiled kid was still screaming in the background, but all I could think about was how unbelievably lucky I was. My mom didn't just give me toys.